poppin', man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. Just like double O. Stay down with me or let me go. Start to whip out just like hoes. Inspire me to whip up the flow. She with me, she down like the bros. Holding me down like the chosen. Early in the morning, go. Late up at night, go. Just be precise. Got a pack for the flight. All I took was a needle. I show up in a bill. Showed up, making cougars like Trim. Water flow, I can feel it. Water.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Art of Struggle. I'm your host, Art Pendergrass. I got a special guest with me here today. Athlete, entrepreneur, just all around hustler, Miss MK. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. For the people who don't know you, introduce yourself. What kind of introduction will you give yourself?
I would say right now, like, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, so I like to represent myself as full-time, all me. So everybody call me MK, but my name is Michaela.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you, Michaela. I just know you by MK from what I see on social media, From what I see, I see you doing a lot of things. I see you helping the community. I see you helping people get resources. I see you working inside this great facility that we're in. Tell us a little bit more about the Vault.
So the Vault Hookah Lounge is really an old bank. It was the first South Bank in Spartanburg, South Carolina, where I'm from. So like my high school is like 2 minutes around the corner. So yeah, it's lit. It's like right here where I grew up at. So it was an old bank called First South Bank, and I actually got the idea in Atlanta. I had went to this restaurant in Atlanta, and it was like a big old bank, and I was like, darn, I can't wait to have something like this. And I just keep speaking it, so I finally got something, and it's crazy how it just turned out. And I'm like, dang, I'm about to turn the whole entire thing into like a bank. Like you about to be eating inside of a bank for real, and it's a lounge, and like. Hookahs, of course, like that's the business I started 3 years ago, so like it's only right we bring the hookahs in the building. But it's definitely a lot of different things. We got hookah, we got food at night, you got the bottle service during the day, daytime parties, everything, like diversity, everybody gonna be welcome here.
And you're in a prime position, like you in the middle of Spartanburg, in the middle of everything, so you really picked a great location.
Yeah.
Like I was looking around, like I'm like, oh, I just see nothing but traffic coming back and forth. So I'm like, man, you picked a great spot. Just talk a little bit about your original business that you started. Hookah, as far as like Hookah Girls. Go into a little bit of detail on what made you start that.
Okay, so when I graduated college, I don't know if a lot of y'all don't know, but I went to Winthrop, so that's like right there in Rock Hill. So when I graduated, I moved to Charlotte, but I didn't move to Charlotte until I did get my degree, start my career job. So I was working at DSS. They fired me. So when they fired me, boom, I got up out of Rock Hill and moved to Charlotte. Started working at the airport, got me a night job at Tattoos and Booze, started learning how to do hookahs because I couldn't get in the door as a bottle girl. It was really hard to get in the door in Charlotte as a bottle girl. You had to start somewhere else, so I started with hookahs. I learned how to do it. I learned the system, how everything worked, and then I took it home.
That's what's up, man. I would say you're doing a phenomenal job so far. I know you talk about you went to Winthrop University. What was your college experience like? Like, what type of struggles did you have as a college student, as an athlete, that most people wouldn't realize that you would have?
The struggle for me was like time. It was like, you got to do your schoolwork, you got to study, you got to pass, you got to go to practice, you got to go to all the trips and everything with the track meets and everything. And you also got to make sure you pay your bills, take care of yourself, so you got to go get a job. Well, you don't have to. A lot of people didn't, but I went and got 2 jobs. So time was really hard for me, but I made a way. It was lit. Winthrop was lit. I love Winthrop. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about Winthrop. Like, I love that school. It was really just for me. Like, I was glad I transferred there because I really went to a Christian school at first, and then I transferred into Winthrop. I was like, dang. I started learning myself then when I was at Winthrop because I was around more people like me. So So.
And I heard you speak earlier of the power of manifestation. You talk about how you speaking it into existence. You seeing certain things and certain opportunities come. Could you speak about the power of manifestation?
So I learned about it when my mama, she always would just tell me, you got to speak highly of yourself. Like, she always told me that. She always told me, you're beautiful, you are loved, I love you. You know, she gave me that love that I needed. So I knew, regardless of how anybody think of me, I know what to think of myself, and I know what I want for myself. So, like, I always want to have my own. I want my own money, my own everything. Of course, being independent, yes, it's hard, but yeah, somebody can love you too. You know, you can share and do things with other people, not always doing things by yourself. So, like, I did start, I was doing lashes first, so I learned how to run my business by myself. Then that's when I was like, okay, let me dip into something else where you have other people, which was very hard, because it's like, it's not just you no more, it's you and other people. So, like, yeah.
My first business was actually like a partnership, so I definitely know what you mean as far as, like, you know, everybody's opinion matters, so you got to learn, you feel me? I definitely feel what you're saying, but... and
I just spoke, like, so much for myself. Like, I just kept saying, I want to help people. I want to make money, but I want to help people. So, like, yeah, I'm making money doing lashes, but how do you help other people make money? So that's when I dipped into the hookahs and stuff and started pushing the girls on my team. But, like, I had to push them the way I was. A lot of them didn't think like me. So, like, I used to have to tell them, like, speak better of yourself. Stop talking so negative. I don't care what you don't got. It doesn't matter. You're going to get it. But you got to speak it. You got to say it. So, like, I sent them affirmations. They wake up, I hope they say it, I know I say it, but the same stuff that I say every morning, I want them to say every morning. So, like, they could be on the same page as me.
Man, spoken like a true leader. That was a leader and a boss. Like, that's just what it sounds like, that you instilled in them. So you was teaching them how to create their own brands, basically how to brand themselves, how to use their platform.
Everybody got their own bag. Everybody got their own business. Some girls do hair, do makeup. Some girls went to esthetician school. I got people that know how to hustle in the streets. We can do it all.
That's what you gotta have. You gotta have that network. When did you learn that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, when did you? I know you went to college and everything, and you didn't have the idea. You kind of, like you said, you had a career field idea, which most of us do. We told to go to college and get a career. But when did you realize that entrepreneurship was the way for you?
When I started working for other people. So, like, I know myself, and everything is not for everybody. And I know for me, working for other people is not for me. It could be for other people, but for me, I see a different path. So, like, when I was in school, like I said, time was like the hardest thing in the world. So, like, I started noticing the jobs that I was working, how much money I was making, what it was doing for me. And then I started noticing how much money I can make for myself too. So, like, I was like, dang, I'm spending this much time in this building for this many hours, and then I go home or go to doing my own business, working on my own stuff, and seeing how much I'm making in lesser time than what I'm doing here. So now I'm having to learn how to figure out what is best for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm working, when I was in school, I was working at Walmart, and I worked at a little bar. It was a small little bar, like 2 minutes up the road from Winthrop. I forgot the name. I think it was like Tavern, something like that.
At the Tavern?
So, like, I was working there and I was working at Walmart. But, like, I still didn't have no money. So I was like, this is so hard. I can't wait to graduate, because school, track, y'all wasting my time. But at the same time, you're not, because I need you to get a degree. It was crazy. So, like, I was like, yes, I'm glad I graduated. When I graduated, that's really when I started pushing my business, because it was like I had more time to myself to learn myself and what I really wanted to do. So I was doing a lot of stuff, like trying to sell clothes. I was selling wigs. Like, it took a little minute to figure out, but a lot of people don't want to put the time into it. So it's like, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
You go work for yourself and put the time into it, or you go make somebody else rich.
Right, that's definitely a fact. Well, I want to do a little switch up here. I do a segment on my podcast called Struggle Questions. You know, we all come from different struggles. We all got different struggles that we come from. So I just want to see what kind of struggle you might have had, you know?
Like you said, everybody's struggles is different. So I will say my childhood, I had a wonderful childhood. Everything isn't always great, but you know, it's life. Everybody come up different. I know I got a big family, so like everybody in my family got their own struggles,
Yeah.
but we still family. So like what I didn't see, I still saw it somewhere else.
Gotcha.
And I was always that nurturing because I get it from my mama. So like helping my family, making sure we all eat type of thing. So nobody really struggles. And like a lot of people feel like they're struggling because they don't have what other people have. But to me, that's not a struggle. You can have a lot and still be struggling. You just don't know how they're struggling.
Yeah.
They might not be struggling financially, but they can be struggling mentally. So like I can say my struggle really was just finding myself, especially like after dealing with different type of people.
Gotcha.
So like family. What I'm trying to say basically, like I'm trying to figure out, oh, should I go in my career path like this side of the family want for me, or should I just be myself and just learn myself and figure out my own path regardless of how anybody in the family feel. So like my struggle was like I always wanted to keep my family happy. And I finally like learned how to keep myself happy. And it's so crazy how it happened because now everybody looking at me.
Now everybody want to be like, okay. But let's see. Let me see what kind of struggles you. It's just like a preference thing. Would you prefer cup noodles or oodles and noodles?
Oodles and noodles.
Okay. Takis or Cheetos?
I like Takis.
Okay. Spades or Uno?
Spades.
Would you rather stay in your hometown the rest of your life or move to a different city every 6 months?
That's hard. I'd rather stay in my hometown.
Why you say that?
Because I eventually want to be stable. I don't want to move around too much. This one, I don't got a peace of mind. Because I'm used to moving around. Going from Rock Hill to Charlotte, back home, different places in my hometown. I be moving. So, like, I'm ready to sit down.
Yeah, you ready to build something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this for people who trying to, become an entrepreneur, trying to build wealth. Do you think it's harder, if you're trying to build wealth, do you think it's harder to cut your expenses or increase your income?
You said which one is harder?
Yeah, which one is needed? Which one is more necessary, if you had to say one?
Cutting them bills down.
Explain it. A lot of people have a difficult time cutting their habits, locking in. Why is that so important, cutting your expenses?
To me, because you never really know what can happen. Like, you might feel like you up, but you're really not. At least for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point in time, I felt like I was up. I was doing good. I'm spending money. Doing a lot of stuff that I don't notice I'm doing or paying for. And it got under control. To the point where I was up and I was back down. And then when you down, who you going to run to?
Right. Definitely right about that. Nobody runs to you. Everybody always look up to you when you up, but when you down, who in your corner?
Especially if you're a giver.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's for everybody, but if you that person that like to give, I'm for my community. I'm for people that surround me. Anybody that's around me, I don't want nobody hurting around me. So, like, I'm always going to give, even if it's a hug or something to say, something to speak into your life. It don't matter what it is. It ain't even got to be no money. It could be anything. I'm just a giver. So, like, when you feel like, okay, darn, I need somebody to give back to me, that's when you be like, dang, who can you go to? Who can you talk to?
No, that's real. Another one for the kids, I try to get the kids to realize, it's better to get stuff done earlier than later in life. So, so I would ask you, in a 4-year span, I would say a high school span, 4 years, do you think it would be harder to raise your GPA from a 1.0 to a 4.0, or do you think it would be harder to raise your credit score from a 300 to a 750?
That credit score is definitely harder. I feel like, especially if you didn't know like exactly what to do to build it. So like same thing with grades. Like I feel like if ain't nobody teaching you, how you gonna know? If ain't nobody focused on you, how you gonna understand what's going on, comprehending what they saying, so that you can show them that you know what's going on. So like sometimes some kids in school, they get overlooked. That's what people don't be knowing. Like be kids that sit in the back that nobody paying attention to. It's hard to pass some grades and get that GPA, but shit, you gonna need that credit score at the end of the day.
Right, no, that's real, that's real.
My daddy always told me C's get degrees. So when she said that, boy, I got on through.
What's a tip you would give like a young MK or a young, 17, 18-year-old fresh out of high school as far as like credit, as far as life? What kind of tip would you give that person that's trying to be an entrepreneur?
I always tell my little cousins, build your credit. Like the first thing you need to do is go to the bank, get you a card, establish you a relationship with the bank. Don't do nothing bad with these banks. Do what you're supposed to do. Build your credit. How I built my credit, I went to a furniture store. I know I need furniture in my house. I know if you pay on your furniture, it build your credit. So I went to the furniture store, bought me something that I could afford every month, and I just paid on it. Boom, start building my credit. That's how I got into, an apartment, or when they got me a car or anything that I wanted. You gotta have some kind of credit. So like that's how I built my credit. Now I got furniture in my house. I got good credit. I can go get any car on the lot that I want. I can go to the bank and get a loan if I needed one. I can start a business with the bank money. You can do all kind of stuff with good credit.
Definitely right. You definitely, like you said, they need to start earlier. That's the main thing.
Definitely.
How early you start.
I feel like I started late.
Right.
I feel like it started in high school, middle school. People who, the parents that know what to do, they start their kids off that young, but my parents didn't know. So I learned how to build my credit on my own when I moved out and went to college and doing stuff, and I'm in the streets learning everything on my own. No. So I'm like, darn, I got to build credit. Okay, boom. Started learning, then I messed it up, then I fixed it, messed it up again, and fixed it again. I'm like, okay, so I know how to fix it, but I know what to do to not get it messed up. So like I started learning how to, just teaching myself.
As far as college, I'm gonna go back to college one time for you. Would you do anything differently based off what you know now? I know you was an athlete, so it was a little bit different for you. But I feel like our generation is learning that you don't necessarily need college. You just need an outer your city experience, you get what I'm saying? You just need to see something else more so than go to college and put yourself in a debt. So how would you, if it was a regular kid coming from the hood, coming from a low income community that's trying to go somewhere that wants to go to college, what would you recommend for that child?
Like going through college or graduating high school? Yeah,
graduating high school, making the decision of whether
to go to college,
trade school, go to college.
So for me, like, I didn't want to go to college. So I basically was like talked into going to college because it's the best thing for your career and building your career and just making money. Right. So like I did it because I was told to go to college. Yeah, I wanted to go to college because that's what everybody do when they leave, but that wasn't something I wanted to do. So when I went, tried it out, I liked it, graduated, went in my field, got fired, so I had to figure something else out. So my thing, I would say, if you have a career goal for yourself and it takes for you to go to college to do that, okay? Because if that's what you got to do to get where you need to go, definitely go do it. I don't regret any of my 4 years, but I do feel like if I didn't do college for 4 years, I'd probably be a lot further than what I am now, especially with my own business. I feel like those 4 years I could have took to build my business a long time ago, but I ain't tripping because I love my whole entire experience of how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like I love how everything went. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have went to college if I knew how to do what I'm doing now. But like college is, I say get out your hometown. I don't care. I don't care if it's an hour. Okay, Winthrop is an hour away from my hometown, so I was like, I can do that. Daddy ain't too far, mama ain't too far. Y'all can call, pull up, whatever. But I enjoyed it. I felt like I learned myself a lot more. High school, I was very quiet. Like, nobody really knew the real me. I couldn't really express myself in high school like I did when I was in college. Like, I was around a lot more people that agreed with me. We all want to, we in the parties and we not thinking about shooting each other afterwards. We trying to have fun and go back to class, talk about the weekend during the week. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoying our life and also getting a degree while we at it. So, like, I feel like go to college. If you feel like you didn't enjoy high school, go to college. Definitely go to college. Like, it's fun, but it's a job too. People don't know college is a job, and that's another thing that kids need to know. Like, you got to stand on business when you're in college. You're spending all this money, so you can't drop out. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't just fool around in school. You got to do your work, get your work done, get through school. A lot of kids, they go their first year, second year, and they drop out.
Well, I just want to wrap it up with you today. I definitely appreciate you allowing me to come through this beautiful facility.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I know you guys plan on opening soon. You don't have to give us the date yet, you know, but I know it's coming soon. So what do people have to look forward to when it comes to the vault? You're
going to look forward to good times, safe vibes. We're going to be safe around here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to meet new people. You can network. You just never know who walks through the door. You're going to have food, hookahs. We have a beautiful bar. We're going to serve cocktails. We're going to have mocktails. If you're a vegan, I got you, because my mama a vegan too. And yeah, smoking hookah and eating good food.
Definitely appreciate you coming through today. Appreciate you, MK. Thank you for another episode of The Art. This is another episode of The Art of Struggle.
Thank you.